Hello, hope you had a great day. Today we'll do a quick one, and I hope you can be able to follow through. So, up until now, we have our character following the player. So basically, we can get a certain goal and move towards it. That's what we are talking. We're talking about our AI, and we want just to advance it a little bit. And I'll say, let's have our 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 agent to only move when he sees the player. So we want to be very specific in his movement, and we can assume that our player is somewhere here, and this is our agent. And we want first to be able to set our agent to look for our player. So he'll be like standing there, but he'll have vision. So right now he doesn't have vision. He can't see. But basically I want him to be able to see and tell if that's a player or if that's somebody who he might be interested in. So I'll go ahead and do like some blockouts here just to make sure that his vision is blocked. So I'll go to modeling. I'll create like a mesh, or I can say just a model. I can add a I think this is okay. Then I can right there. Then accept. Oh, you could just add a box. I don't know how to use that modeling. So that here, and then I'll set the height, width, and this one over here. Put up the height. Yeah, I think I'll be okay with that one. And so go back to selection. I'm just making sure that his vision is blocked, right? And I'll go ahead and go to our base AI, change a couple of things. The first one will be the state tree, and I'll disable this for now, then compile and save everything first. Just make sure we don't get lost. And for our AI to have vision, the only thing that we need maybe is to add would be, there's a couple of ways you can do this. So the first one would be by adding a component known as perception. So I can just say perception, then there is the AI perception, and there is a perception stimuli source. We don't want the source, we might just go with perception. And in perception, there is basically this tab over here under AI perception. There is the parent socket. I think we can set that, but we can say let's add a sense config, and under the index 0 our sense config will be sight. So we are interested in like adding sight to our AI. So go ahead and add that. I'll also set under the dominant sense to be sight. Then under the senses, I can say detect enemy, detect neutral, detect friendly. Save that. And I think that's pretty much like everything that we need to do. I can use like the radius and change that, but we just want to test if it's working. So I'll quickly compile that and go back to our testing map and wait first. I'll grab the perception and I'll say on perception updated. There is another function here. There is on perception forgotten, on target perception updated, on component activated, but I'll take this node only and I'll say all the updated actors, all the things that I see, I'll do a for each loop and just print string their names. Print string, and I want this to last for like 10 seconds. And then under array element, attach these here. So compile and save. So you can see we have our character right here, and you'll notice once the player is maybe is in a position where the AI can see him, you'll notice it won't work for now. So I'm right in front of him. I mean, it has worked. That's a bit interesting, cause let me see on perception. Perception. I had checked it. Detect enemies, neutrals, and friendlies. That's weird, because the last time, it was like a long time ago when I checked, we needed to add a perception source right here. So that's interesting that it works just from the without having to do anything. So I'll go ahead and try and play again. You can see so if I get close, it prints my name. Yeah, and that's basically what we want. So we want to make sure that we are only trying to look for the player. So this right here, I'll make sure that if this is the player, so I'll just say get player character, and then check if the updated the perceived actor is our player. So just say equal, and then connect these, and now we shall print string just 8b branch and set that from true. We'll print string I see player. So compile and save, and then when I hit play, I'm hidden from the character. So when I get close, you can see I see the player printing. I see the player. That's only when it's updated. I'll go ahead and do modifications here under perception. I'll take on target perceived, and I'll change all these to here. Hook that up. So I'm trying to see if he can see me without having the stimulus source that we were using, that I had mentioned earlier. So compile, and when I go back, I see the player, and I see the player, I see the player, so it still works. So I can say break stimuli, and I can see the stimulus location and everything successfully sensed. Cool. So I want us to move to the player once I see him. So I'd say right now we can't see him. I'd say right now we can't move. I want us to be able to move to the player once this node is updated. So I'll go back to the, and I'll add in our branch, I'll add and node, and I'll say successfully sensed that, and once we have these, I'll make sure that now we start following our player, right? So I'd say state tree, then I'll say start logic and hook that up. So this ensures that we can only move to a player once we see him, right? So when I hit play, you can see it's just there. When I get close to an angle that he can see me, he starts walking towards me, which is like great. So he'll come close to me, and once it's close, he'll jump, which is like perfect. So you might add an animation right there. You might say let him like hit the player or do anything, like, or maybe talk to him. I don't know. It just depends on what you want to, let me say, what you want to do. So I'll go ahead and try to print string right here. What happens when you like show up and hide, right? So let me just check that. Yeah, you see that there's this hello right there. So when I've seen the player, but when the player hides, it means I'm not seeing him. What I'll do, I'll just call the state tree and say stop logic. You might need to explain your reason right here, but it's all useless and you don't need it. Also make sure I'd say you can stop the movement, but I don't know if that is absolutely necessary. And then when we hit play, we're going to show ourselves up here, and when we hide, you can see he'll go to our goal. So it's necessary also to stop. When you stop the logic, you can stop the movement too. Stop active movement, compile, save, and when we hit play, right here, when I hide, it stops. When I show up again, it moves. When I hide, it stops. So I'll get here, you can see it's coming to me because it's seeing me, and then you can hide, it stops. So right here, you can come to me. Yeah, and basically that's it. So there is a ton of different ways that you can use the perception, especially with let me say with AI. So you only want to, there is also some commands that you can visualize when you're using AI, and I think I had forgotten them, but let me just see if I can. Yeah, when you hit the it's called the quotation, the single quote key, it gives you like a lot of AI stuff. So you can say maybe if you want to use perception, you press 4, and you can basically see all the perceived how the debug lines work in AI. So when we get like close to here, you'll see a sphere updating right there. So these are you get to see if the AI is seeing you, and when you move, it shows like this is where the player was under like a certain age, which is great. So you might want to for the values that I want you to play with on at your own time. Just check on the perception, and there is the vision angle and the sight radius. So we can reduce this up to, let's say, 1000. Then lose size, we can say 1200, and then angle you can set it to, let's say, maybe 60. And when you compile and save that, go back to play, hit the quotation, the quote, and then hit 4, you'll see his perception is kind of like limited. And when you go just behind him, you won't be able to see him. You can see the 3 green lines are his like vision angle. So we'll go ahead and get close to here. You can see here is like trying to see me, but I'm in the lose vision. So once you're here, you are in his angle, he can track you very closely, and once you're here, you're hidden. So you won't be able to see you again unless you get into the vision angle, right? And that's really great. So keep following, and if you find this video useful, consider subscribing and also drop a like, and I'll see you in the next one.